Good evening and good night, Bahamas. Good night to my studio audience. Good night to social media land. Good night to everybody, COI. Good night to the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Yes. We're here again with our marathon. It's almost like a marathon of our candidate reveal for our shadow ministers here at the headquarters of the COI, the Coalition of Independence. My name is Aisha Claire, and I will be your host again for tonight. You are welcome once, you are welcome twice, you are welcome 3 times. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for riding with us. Thank you for being present and being a part of history. Thank you for being a part of change, because we all know that change ain't coming. Change is indeed here. I want to say a very happy birthday to one of our campaign walkers, our campaign talkers, our campaign, listen, he is everything. Mr. Elvis, we want to say thank you and happy birthday to you. We love you. We do. We love you. We do. I just wanted to throw that out there. Nothing you have done has gone unnoticed, and we appreciate you, sir. We tip our hats to you tonight. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And as we start, we want to start giving God thanks and praise for being the head of the Coalition of Independence, not just the Coalition of Independence, but being the head of our lives tonight. And as we start, we're going to call our elder. Our elder, where are you? Where are you, sir? Could you come in? Listen, your name eludes me at the moment, and I'm trying to get this phone to work with me as it should, but you can come on down and you will open us in a word of prayer. If you don't mind, could you kindly stand as we reverence the Father tonight, because he is indeed in the fabric of everything Coalition of Independence. Sir, thank you.
Thank you. Good evening. I just want to quote a scripture here. It says in Proverbs 29:16, when the wicked are multiplied, transgression increases, but the righteous shall see their fall. The Lord is far from the wicked, but he hears the prayer of the righteous. Amen. Proverbs 3:6 says, in all of our ways, acknowledge him, and he shall direct our path. Father, in the precious name of your Son, Jesus Christ, Yeshua the Messiah, we come to honor you. We come to give you thanks. We come to give you praise. We come to give you glory, and we come to give you honor. You is the great God. There's none like you. You spoke in the beginning, and things exist, seen and unseen. Father, as we gather here this evening to give you thanks, and these candidates that we are about to present to the Bahamas, shadow ministers. Father, we ask your wisdom. Give us the knowledge and the understanding of where we want this country to go. Father, we thank you because we honor you. In this organization, God, you know the heart of all men. And Father God, you knew us before we even was born. And Father God, you searches the heart of all of us. Today, we give you thanks. And everyone that is here, bless them, keep them, and give them the wisdom and the knowledge to honor you. And we give you thanks and praise in Jesus' mighty name. Amen.
Don't just sit down yet. That was Elder Benjamin Dames. Yes, Elder Benjamin. You know something? Our phones, these phones for women, you all know what I'm talking about. Sometimes when you all cute, it does not recognize you. So just, just a side note. Anyway, we're going to stand now for the national. That was a ha-ha moment. It's okay. We're going to shake it off. We're going to shake it off, and we're going to get cool, because our candidates, we need that energy. We need that excitement, because radio land and social media land is excited for what we're going to unveil. So I want to pump you up and get you excited for what you're going to experience tonight. Wasn't last night amazing? The shadow ministers were amazing. I mean, they had a really wonderful flow, and you can hear the passion and everything that they have for the Bahamian people, especially the youth of the nation. I heard that last night in many of their speeches and many of their interviews. So now we're going to stand for the national anthem of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas is going to be played. Thank you. Wonderful, wonderful. You can give us a round of applause. Listen, every time I hear that, I feel a profound sense of pride. I am happy and proud to be a Bahamian. I don't know about you. I don't know about you in here, but I am proud to be a Bahamian. I am proud to be an organic Bahamian. Yes, yes, you may be seated. Look at the person to the left and the right of you and give them a smile, man. Show them all of your teeth. Give them a smile. We're happy to have you. We're happy to see you. We're happy that you're here with us. Yes. Yes, I like that. I love that for us. And right now, I'm going to introduce a man who has fought night and day, whose phone, I mean, I have seen the influx of messages. I have seen the influx of calls. You can't have a conversation with him without, I mean, multiple calls coming in over and over and over again, because Bahamian people are out there. And they're hurting, and they're in need. And even though you may not see them in a COI shirt, I want you to know that there are more with us than there is against us. Yes. And because we know about victimization in our country, we realize that, people have, grown sense. They're not going to come in a COI shirt. They're going to get what they can get, and I don't blame you. And then when it comes to going and putting that X where it's supposed to be, you know where it's going to go for the Coalition of Independence, because we're going to lead these people into the new Bahamas. Who's excited about the new Bahamas? I am. Yes, I am as well. So as I welcome this man, this courageous man, our leader of the Coalition of Independence, Mr. Lincoln Michael Bain, who is he's an amazing instrument of God's wisdom. He's an amazing person who has put himself out there even when he didn't want to. I remember when he said, these two girls came into my office and they were trying to pull me into something, and I was like, I was not ready for this. And one of them was our national chairman who had pulled him in as an activist, just fighting for Bahamians. I remember fighting for Bahamians night and day. We don't give up. We don't give up. We keep going and going and going, and this man has never stopped. Never stopped for many, many years, over 20 years or even more, just fighting for Bahamian people, for the Afro. He was fighting even when he had an Afro. Anybody remembers that? He had a little Afro going on. He was fighting. Even then, on the beach, he was fighting, dragged off the beach, fighting, in Parliament fighting, being dragged off Parliament, signing into bail, still fighting for the Bahamian people, and we say thank you, sir. So he's going to come with the welcome and come with remarks. Mr. Lincoln Michael Bain.
Change ain't coming. Change ain't coming. Good night, everybody, and welcome to day 2. Last night, I was completely blown away. It was fabulous. It was a refreshing change to the political landscape. To see qualified Bahamians step forward for each of those positions. For persons out there, the tens of thousands of people who watched last time, maybe another tens of thousands may be watching today, I just want to recap for you what happened yesterday and let you know what is about to happen today. Yesterday, we launched our shadow ministers who are here to speak on the issues relating to those ministries and who are here to give the vision for the COI for the New Bahamas. They are the persons who are showing you that we are qualified to take this country in a new direction. Every 5 days, we get hoodwinked and bamboozled, and they disappoint us every time. Every 5 years, they bring some people before us, and then they disappoint us every time. Yesterday, we presented to you myself as the minister, the shadow minister of national security and immigration. We've put those two things together again because all of the law enforcement is going to be in one, and we are going to take care of our law enforcement officers. They're going to be properly paid, and we are going to defend this nation. They're going to be organized, and they're going to be formidable. The world is going to watch them and see how effective they are in this little nation. And we are going to end crime, and we are going to end the immigration issue. We don't have a problem with immigration. We have a problem with illegal immigration. We don't hate any human beings. We love all human beings. We are going to govern for all human beings. But you have to come to our country the right way. It's simple as that. We also introduce you to our shadow minister of finance, and he is a very qualified CPA, a decent Christian family man, who is going to take this country to another level in terms of our accountability, transparency, and the vision for finance in this country, taking us from a country that's dependent on taxes and turn us into a country that depends on our natural resources like every other first world country. He is Mr. William Knowles. We also presented to you a minister of the civil service and labor. The COI promised you that we would make the Bahamian think that the government was their union, that the government would fight for you. We would make unions obsolete in this country. Not that we want them to go anywhere, but we're going to make their job so easy. And so we presented to you someone who's been doing that for a very long time, probably for decades, and that is Miss Maria Daxon. Isn't that the perfect fit? We also presented to you two gentlemen who are extremely qualified for the new ministry of Environment and Natural Resources. And both of these men, one of them we know very famously, and he's Graham Weatherford. He needs no introduction as relates to the natural resources in this country and educating the Bahamian people on that. But we also introduce you to Dr. Jermaine Higgs, who also is PAHO certified in sanitation, etc., who, along with Graham Weatherford, is going to transform these ministries. We also introduce you to a new minister, shadow minister of foreign affairs. And, of course, he is Stephen McQueen. Stephen McQueen is his CV is extensive. I won't be able to go into it right now. But he, as you saw him, is a very quality candidate. The reason I name these names again is very simple. We are showing you that the COI is ready to govern from day one. And when you compare, there actually is no comparison, the COI and their new vision to the failures that have come before you, you know that it's time for change. There is no comparison between our shadow ministers of the environment and natural resources, Mr. Graham Weatherford and Dr. Higgs. There's no comparing him to them to the Minister of Environment and Natural Resources, Mr. Zane Lightburn. There's no comparison. When you put the two together, the COI is the better choice. There's no comparison between the COI's Stephen McQueen and Fred Mitchell. Zero comparison. Stephen McQueen will not be traveling all over this world on your dime to fund his own personal lifestyle. He's a man of God, a happily married man who will not have the scandals that is associated with those other people. And the Ministry of Foreign Affairs will not be used as anyone's piggy bank. And so when you compare, there is no comparison. A decent, professional man who we would all be proud to represent us on the world stage. Yeah. When you compare, there is no comparison between Maria Dockson and anyone, because she actually fights for the people. Under Pia Glover, the civil servants have had to cry for their pay. They've been lied to and disappointed. It's been a complete and utter failure. The labor unions have been complaining and crying. The labor unions will not have to fight anymore. We will be fighting for the people ourselves. We're going to make sure they're straight. So there is no comparison to Maria Dockson and Pia Glover.
No way.
There is also no comparison to Lincoln Bain and Wayne Monroe. Wayne Monroe fights for the criminals. He argues for the criminals. He does everything so that the criminals will prosper in this nation. There is no comparison. He has failed. All of those persons that I mentioned from the current ministries have failed us. Every single Ministry of Foreign Affairs has been an embarrassment. The Ministry of Finance has broken the laws, procurement laws, etc. They don't have the money to pay civil servants, etc. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs has not given proper account. They have failed us. They are borrowing like there's no tomorrow. They are going around the world and acting like beggars, like we are Joneses around the world, when we could benefit from our natural resources and carbon credits. Our environment and our natural resources ministries, they have failed us. They have been an abject failure as it pertains to those things. And so, without further ado, I want to say to you that another 3 will be released today. You're going to learn about our Minister of Health, and you're going to understand that there's no comparison with the new Bahamas and the old Bahamas. You're going to be introduced to our shadow ministers, of education, and our shadow ministers of energy and transport. I don't know why those 2 things are together, but that's how the government has it. But we're going to transform that and make this thing more efficient and more effective. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be back to you in the end of this, but I just want to say that I have a feeling that tonight is going to be a good night. I have a feeling that the Bahamas is on a new trajectory. Yes. A new trajectory to the future. That's it. Let's get in our time machines and let's bring the future to the present. It's time to transform this country. Ladies and gentlemen, I turn it back over to our able host, Miss Aisha Clare.
Before you leave, Mr. Bain, there has been some questions. I'm sorry. There has been some questions online, and I want you to please explain. People are questioning over and over and repeatedly, and for me, maybe in layman's terms, you can explain to people, what is an organic Bahamian?
Oh, good question.
Thank you.
That's a good question, especially seeing I'm the shadow minister of immigration. An organic Bahamian is any person who was born inside or outside of the country to a Bahamian. It's simple as that. If you have a parent who is a Bahamian, you are an organic Bahamian. That means you get it from your DNA. And so it's simple as that. If you have 2 parents from somewhere else, you are not an organic Bahamian. You can be Bahamian because you were naturalized, but you are not an organic Bahamian. Now, we don't want you to misunderstand and think that only organic Bahamians are welcome in this country. No. other Bahamians are also welcome in this country. You have the same rights that we have, but there's definitions that we must have. In Haiti, for example, they have Haitians, and they have Haitians of origin, which is like an organic Bahamian. They have classes of people. And so we are not trying to say that one class is better than the other in any way, but we have to identify who we are. Like, for example, sometimes when they go to the shanty towns and when they have the discussion, they say that, oh, those are Bahamians renting to the Haitians, right? That's what they say to deceive you. But those are Bahamians of Haitian descent who now get access to Crown Land, et cetera, in some cases, and they actually are renting to their people. They are trying to help their people come in. So they trick you by saying they are Bahamians. When they go into shanty towns and break down a house, they find housing for the person they broke down. But what they do is they play slick on you. And they say, oh, they're only providing to Bahamians. But that's the persons they just sold the passports to. Yeah. So that person could have been born in another country, in Haiti, in China, wherever, but that's not an organic Bahamian. That's a naturalized Bahamian. Every country has a difference, all right? Even in Haiti, even in America. So if you were born in another country and you started out as another citizen, you are not an organic Bahamian. I hope that makes sense to everyone. And the reason we have to specify is because they try to deceive us by just saying that this person is a Bahamian because some crooked politician sold them a passport. Okay? That doesn't give you the right. Now, there's other deeper constitutional conversations, but we'll have that another time. But to know what organic Bahamian is, I just defined that for you. And if you want to look in the dictionary for organic Bahamian, you're going to see me. I am a proud organic Bahamian, and I am unapologetically Bahamian. Yes. When American says they're proud to be an American, they have a right to do so. Yes. And no one should feel jealous or that they're hating anybody else. They are a proud American. Yes. Why is it always a problem to be a proud Bahamian? Why is it offending everyone else because you're a proud Bahamian? Haitians are proud Haitians. Jamaicans are proud Jamaicans. Chinese are proud to be who they are. Why is it offensive to anybody else if I say I want to be a proud organic Bahamian? Well, that's what I am. And if it offends you, that's because you're not an organic Bahamian.
Well, there you have it. I hope that clarifies some things in social media land. That is the definition of organic Bahamian as told by Mr. Lincoln Michael Bain. I am proud to be a Bahamian. I don't carry any other flag but the Bahamian flag. I am proud to be a Bahamian. If I go to Alaska, I'm a Bahamian. If I go to France, I am Bahamian. If I go to Canada, I am a proud Bahamian, and I'm happy to be amongst proud organic Bahamians. Welcome again, everybody. We're going to start the interviews right now. I'm excited. I don't know how do you feel? It's like, hey, I hope you all are excited. We're going to have a good run tonight. Our first two candidates, and I'm not going to tell you exactly what they're going to be shadowing as ministers, and I'm going to take my seat as the video is played. However, these two are amazing people, male and female, right? One, the female I've known for many, many years. She has known me from I was a terror by night. I promise you, I was not always this person. Thank God for change and chance and deliverance. Yeah, she has known me for a very long time. She's a minister of the gospel. She's a lover of Jesus Christ. She is an educator, and she is a very good educator. She is the candidate for the Golden Gates constituency, and she is coming for you, Pia. I'm just saying that. It's just a little heads up. She's coming for you. Yeah. So she's going to sit with me, and we're going to have a conversation. Also, our next candidate, because I don't know if you remember yesterday, Mr. Bain would have said, we have more than one candidate in some instances in certain areas shadowing. So we have two of them tonight, and Mr. He is, again, an officer, a former officer, and he's a special education teacher. And how many people know that we need that in this country? We have compartmentalized our children just in one grouping and thinking that, everybody learns the same. And we understand now why the D average is the D average, because if you group everybody in one category, what do you expect to happen? Only the strong survives in the public school system. I promise you, I was there. I know it, and I have a passion for it. So I pray, and I know that the COI is going to bring a rampant change in the Ministry of Education. These two warriors are going to bring a change that is needed from the bottom up in the Ministry of Education. As I take my seat, we're going to watch the video of our ministers, our shadow ministers of the COI for education. Thank you so much.
Charmaine Natasha Adderley is a young woman who grew up in the inner city of New Providence. Born to parents who descend from Long Island and the Big Yard Andros and Viridine, Austin Adderley. Thankful for the opportunity to advance and to see that I believe what God has done for me is to show me as an example, to show that it doesn't matter where you come from. It matters where you end up, where you finish, how you finish the race. And so Charmaine Adderley is a woman who is strong about youth and young people. I love my country. I love my nation. I love the opportunity to be very active in so many different fields. God has blessed me. I'm a multi-talented person. And so you would find as you get to know who I am, some of you heard me rap a little bit. Some people saw me take a little jump shot. Me and Steph Curry kind of like friends in that way, but hey, that's all it is. And so I definitely am an artist. It's amazing. I'm a tech, interested in computers and all those different things. And so a sports coach. I'm telling you, it's been amazing to see the amount of gifts I've been blessed with by the Lord to really be used for such a time as this to impact my nation. The COI, I believe, has demonstrated to me that this is the only true way of deliverance for the Bahamian people, for the Bahamas, and for the last 50 plus years, we have really been devastated, I believe. We could have had better leadership. I believe both the political parties who have governed in this country have had an opportunity to fix things in the Bahamas, and they really haven't. And so the COI has demonstrated to me the confidence, the leadership, the fortitude, the strength, the will to stand up and to speak up and to do what's required to fix the Bahamas. And the COI is that party. The COI, for me in particular as an educator, in various subject areas. I'm a former sports coach. And as an educator, I believe that the field of education has been failed by the PLP and the FNM. And as an educator, I've seen the background of what a lot of Bahamians may not know in terms of education. But I believe, and I know that the COI's vision that we have already put forth for education will transform and bring the change that the educational system truly needs. One of the great things that I love about the vision the COI has put forth for education is that we're going to change the power. We're going to have a paradigm shift in education. We are going to change from producing employees to producing employers. I believe our students are only being prepared now to become employees, work for someone, works for somewhere. Wherein that's not all bad. I believe it's still been robbing the Bahamas of its full potential. And so the COI's vision for education, the focus of it, I believe, is what is so phenomenal, because we are going to be doing some things that are going to just revolutionize the kind of young people we produce. We're going to touch the classroom situation. We're going to make sure that even for the students, if you look around at it now, I saw in a school where when the bell rung, the children couldn't wait to get out of school. I don't think that's a good sign. I believe education and I believe the school should be a place where it's exciting for both students and teachers alike. And so the educational system is going to be revitalized, it's going to be revamped. We're going to bring in the best. And as I said, the whole mindset change is what's going to be the most amazing thing. So children, I believe, instead of ringing that bell and they're running home, they're going to be like, the bell ring, oh, you mean it's time to stop? That's a whole different mindset.
Hello, everybody. We're back. That was amazing. That was amazing. First, Miss Adderley and Mr. Trevor Green. Mr. Trevor Green is coming for Tall Pines. So he's coming for you, Mr. Dovell. I mean, if you're still there. If you're still, you know something, someone said that's an easy win. I believe that. I love that for you. I love that for you. And I want to say also that Mr. Trevor Green has a master's in special education. I think that is so amazing, and we're going to talk about that. And Minister Charmaine Adderley has a bachelor's degree in business education, am I correct? Computer science. So these are very astute people, very intelligent, brilliant people. We're not bringing anybody fly by night to come here and to say, okay, I can do this or I have this. No, these are people who have pined years and years and years in the vineyard. I am one of them, but so are them too. Those two, these two. Okay? So welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you so much.
So we're going to have Mr. Green's video played. Turn your attention to.
I'm married. I have 4 kids. I spent a lot of time in education. I was a police officer for quite a few years. And during that time, I worked with a lot of children within the school system. I also went into further my education because of working with the students, because I saw a need, and I felt that that need had to be filled, because there was a lot of persons who were falling behind in the system, and we needed to fix it. And I think that was the catalyst to get me involved in a lot of things. That things came up to improve or to help improve our country. Yeah, I looked at the COI and saw that their vision was leading in the right direction, and it was a vision that I felt that I shared as well, especially when it came to educating our young people, because the need is there. In the past, we have had a lot of parties that come up, the PLP, especially PLP and FNM, and they have not really aggressively dealt with the issue. It was almost as if they didn't really want to change our current outcomes when it came to our grade point averages for across the board for the country. So with the COI's vision, it gave me a new outlook on how we can arrest this issue and bring about a significant change in our young people, because our learners are very passionate, and learners they learn differently. And if we can tackle each one of those different learning modalities or how children learn, then we can positively impact not just this generation, but many generations down the road, because we need to move or push this country forward. And the only way we can do that is if our children are educated properly to meet the skills, not just in Bahamas, but globally, so we can move forward as a country. The COI's highlight for the education involves not just the system itself, revamping the system, but the like to call them the three pillars: the teachers, the parents, and most importantly, the students. These three pillars, once they are fully engaged with one another within the system, once they come together, they can bring about a change in our country that we have never seen before. And the COI's vision plays a vital part in that. The teachers will be adequately paid. The students, we will teach them based on their mode of learning. And the parents, we will get them actively involved, because the parents are the first point of contact when it comes to educating our children, not just academically, but socially as well. The COI is going to move forward with a very aggressive plan. The plan is going to involve the parents, the students, the teachers, and community and civic-minded persons. The plan is going to radically transform and remove this stagnant D average that has been plaguing our students, not just our students, but our country for so long. The plans of the COI doesn't just impact pockets. It's a comprehensive plan, a plan that involves everybody in the community, especially our students, with an outlook to the future to ensure that our children are able to take this country forward when we are no longer in the picture. And what is going to happen as well, we're going to invest very heavily in education, because education is the catalyst by which our country can move forward. And in doing that, one of the key elements, one of the key pillars to ensure that everything moves smoothly is ensuring that our teachers are paid adequately. There's nothing like a teacher who is receiving adequate compensation for their time. They would be able to devote most of their time when they are there, not just into developing strategies, but coming up with creative ways to help our children learn based on their learning styles. And part of that aggressive approach towards education is to ensure that our children, who deserve so much more and are so skillful, are able to receive free education from primary school, preschool, primary school, straight into a PhD at a university of their choice.
Yes, that was amazing. A rousing round of applause again for both our candidates, our shadow ministers for the Ministry of Education. Now, I want to know from you guys, what is the vision for education? What is the vision? Because we hear people talk about education all the time. We have a minister of education that has not been in education. I don't know if she's a business person. I don't know what her profession was before getting into law. So we have a minister of education who is an attorney, right? And it just sounds kind of strange that a minister of education is an attorney, and we're dealing with people and students and teachers and all that kind of stuff. It's one thing you said, and I'm not sure if you said it as well, but the salaries being increased. I know that's a big deal for teachers. How do you feel about that? Anyone can jump in and just say, how do you feel about the salaries being increased, and what is the vision for education?
Education is a very comprehensive word. I say that because when you look at societies are built around education. And what has happened over the past 52 years since independence, there was a step forward in that direction. But what happened was it became about tribalism. So what we're going to do is we're going to move education in the direction of empowerment. The vision is to move our children towards capable persons able to take over this country when we would have moved up the scene. And I think that is a very important point. We have to empower our people, and in empowering our people, we empower our children. Our children depend on their parents. If we empower the parent by giving them a share of their natural resources, by giving them crown land, they are better able to take care of their children. And one of the number one causes of children not being able to do so well in school is that poverty gap. You know, that is not the only one, but that is a major one, and that has caused a lot. And the Coalition of Independence vision is to remove that, ensure that every single Bahamian family, every home, is able to take care of their children. And then their children will produce in school. To give them the skills, they'll learn the skills to move into the 21st century, the 25th century, the next 50 years from here. See, when you think about pushing a generation of children towards excellence, there's no other great feeling other than the Lord coming. You have to look after your children. You know, the Bible says, you know, I love the Bible. The Bible says children are a blessing. Minister Shamin.
Heritage.
They are a blessing.
Amen.
Yeah.
I just want to say good evening to everybody. Hello to Golden Gates. And, you know, we come in, like you said, Aisha. Appreciate it. My passion for education is this. As a teacher, it's not all about just the money, the money, the money. Literally, there's nothing that gives us greater joy than to see a child who came in. I mean, they could have the lowest esteem about themselves that you can see, but you can see the transformation as you work with them and bring that genius out of them. That's what really gives teachers, that gives us our drive. And so I want to salute all the teachers throughout the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Big you up because you deserve it. And I want you to know with the COI, you're going to have a party, a government who is going to look out for you. Even retired teachers, you are not forgotten. We are coming to make this system work. The teachers have been marginalized in this country. It's like treated like second class, or y'all just go and do it. No, we're going to change that whole dynamic, that whole mindset for teaching. Yes, we're going to touch that salary. We're going to make it better, and even more so for teachers on the Family Islands. I was able to do a stint on the Family Island. I'm going to tell you, month to month, most people are living that way. And they will take their last out of their pockets and buy this material for their classroom. Buy that for the students. When can we see a nation, or when have we seen a government in our nation who has been serious about teachers? They treat us like we are second-class citizens. But we're the ones building them. Everyone in this room, everyone watching online can remember a teacher who made them feel like they could fly and touch the sky. That's what teachers do. So we're going to fix this, teachers. You will never again. You hear us? You will never again have to fight to pay your mortgage. And even so, the mindset the ministry and the government has had towards teachers, it's ridiculous. You understand? Teachers are going to be respected. And like Mr. Bain said earlier, we're going to work with teachers' unions to ensure that the school gets done properly. Let me tell you something. No way in other countries who have awesome grade point averages, their students are excited. My philosophy about teaching and education is learning is fun. I believe in having fun, because if the teachers aren't having fun, you're going to have brain drain. They're going to be leaving the system because there's too much pressure being put on teachers. This whole system has to be revamped. The COI is the party, and we're going to do it.
Wow.
Yeah, and speaking on the structural development, the development of the school campuses, there'll be ongoing maintenance
Yes.
in the school system. We're not going to wait until summer comes
before
around.
school.
We're not going to wait until the week of school come around, and then you have children, can't get into certain classes and stuff. If you take care of the little things, and it's biblical, if you take care of the little things as they arise,
Yes.
that'll avoid the big things from coming up.
Yes.
It's not difficult. And something that is dear to my heart, special needs. I just want to say that we need to ensure that our special needs students are taught in an inclusive environment. When you segregate children, they tend to draw. Children draw off one another. So if you put all autistic children in one class, what do you think is going to happen?
And I'm going to feel very special.
It is time we move, and we're going to move our schools into inclusive environments where children are able to go into what we call the normal classrooms, and they'll learn the normal way, and they'll get something that we did when I was teaching and educating in the States. They call them paraprofessionals who sit along with the child. And all this is about job creation, you know.
Yeah.
They sit along with the child and they teach the child, you know, what they don't understand in the normal classroom. They help the child along.
I think what you call it, if I remember correctly, is an IEP, is an individual education
Exactly.
plan for the student itself. So
Individualized
it's
plan.
individualized for that individual student. It's not a broad thing for everybody. It's for that person to thrive, that student to thrive in the classroom. If he is lacking, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, in math or really low in math or English, they pull that child out, they give them that extra help, and the child is back in the classroom for everything else. And like you said, like, why would you bunch everybody in you have autistic children in one classroom, and then you have the other ones? Children learn what they live.
Yeah.
They learn what they see.
And guess what?
Go ahead.
Sorry. The thing is, one of the powerful things that I really love about what the COI is going to be doing is to allow students to get credits while they're in high school. This is going to be phenomenal. This is a game changer. Students are going to have things done. And there was a time even in education, they would come out of school with their driver's license. We have to help our people go forward. It's not been happening. And so as we move forward in this vision for the COI, we are seeing great things coming to bear. And it's like I said, the Word of God says that wherever your treasure is, there's your heart. So what has the governments of the Bahamas been investing in? Has the money been going into education the way it should? So that tells us that their heart really, like you said, to my colleague, Mr. Green, their heart is not about removing that D average. Because if you continue to underfund schools, if you continue to keep the amount of, not have the amount of teachers needed to actually fulfill the necessary needs, you're going to always have a D average. Because the students won't have enough teachers, the classes, it's just going to be a babysitting regimen happening. And then you look around and wonder why we have a D average. Well, we change and all that. That's what the COI is going to be all about. We're going to make this stuff work. We're going to make sure that we have more than enough teachers, reduce those amount of periods they have to teach per week, especially on the family of violence. And I got to keep saying that because that was an experience to be on a family island, knowing the cost of living is double of what it is in Nassau, but they are struggling to make things work. And teachers, this is why they don't want to go to the family islands.
And if I may add, one of the drawbacks to anyone learning is the environment. And our schools will be fully air conditioned. Our children,
Classrooms.
our children, and I say our children because they will be my children as well. Our children will have proper meals, proper breakfast,
Cafeteria.
proper lunch.
Come on now.
In
Free
a
cafeterias.
free lunch, free breakfast in a fully air-conditioned and fully equipped kitchen to ensure that they have like I said, there's nothing like that environment where you feel comfortable. It's a joy to go to learn. And that is the type of environment that the COI will create for our students.
And if I may interject one last thing there, the culture of the Bahamian people is what the COI is going to be about changing. Because we want our people to be excited about learning, excited about education. There's a mindset where people just say, send your child to school, doesn't matter if they ever do anything right. Parents sometimes don't even pick up their report cards. We have to have a cultural revolution in education.
Wow. I'm sure you can hear the passion from both. I'm going to give you 30 seconds each to close it up because I don't want you to just end with all that passion and fire in you. I want you to release it to the people. So I'm going to start with you, and then I'm going to end. I know we're doing it a little backwards, but I'm going to start with you, and I'm going to end with the Minister, Sharmeen Adley.
I want the Bahamian people to imagine for a moment what it would be like for their children to be happy to go to school. For school to be a celebration. For school to be something that your children feel proud of, dignified, something that will teach them unity, love, respect, not only for themselves, for each other, for their teachers, for their school, for their countries, for their country, and for their leaders. That is the vision that the COI will deliver to the people. Something that when you go to work, you can feel assured that your child is in a beautiful place. Because in my mind, what I see is a beautiful school, beautiful people, beautiful children, beautiful teachers, beautiful administrators, a beautiful compound that will make this little nation here the envy of the world because of the children that we will produce, that will be coming, the skills, I'm so excited.
I can tell. I didn't want to stop
I'm so
you.
excited.
We in the beautiful Bahamas. Because we
Yeah.
have the beautiful
We in
children, the beautiful
paradise.
schools.
I can see it.
Yes.
I can see
Yeah.
it,
Listen, if you don't
I
see
can
it,
see it.
Yeah.
if you can't see it, we won't
You
have
can
it.
have it.
And it
I'm
will
glad
happen under
you can
COI
see it and you
government.
visualize
Yes,
it.
it will.
Minister Shami Natalie.
I just want to send a shout out to all my students. I miss y'all like crazy as well. You know how it go. I love y'all and appreciate you. Keep going. I want to say to my fellow educators, you've been too long overlooked. Yes. You've been just overlooked bad, and it's been difficult. And teachers are the best, most kind-hearted people. And we have had enough of how teachers are looked upon, even from the Ministry of Education. There's this mindset, even when teachers try to have professional days, 2 days off, the ministry finds something for them to do on those 2 days. So don't think the teachers are off. And this whole mindset, you're going to try to open school the next day after January. They just had Christmas celebrations, but you want to open up school right after that? It tells me we have people who are uncaring. We have to stop draining the teachers. And we have to help them and preserve them. As much as we pour into children, the teachers are the frontline warriors. We have to empower our teachers. We have to strengthen them. We have to lift them up. And we have to help them continue to produce the gems, the diamonds, the rubies that we can all be proud of. Change ain't coming. Change is here.
Yes, Bahamas. Yes, there you have it. Our shadow ministers of education, and they came with the fire tonight. They came, and I'm not talking about the other fire, but they came fueled up, and they know what they're talking about. This one's Mr. Green, spoke about being in the States, and you were a teacher in the States assisting
A
as
teacher
well.
trainer.
A teacher, what is that exactly before you go? I'm sorry, we're gonna wrap it up. What is a teacher trainer
I train teachers.
in the United States?
Yes, special education teachers, train them to.
So there you have it. Listen, we have qualified, overqualified people here, overqualified candidates, shadow ministers, and we thank you again for your passion. We thank you for your service. We thank you for being that person and standing up with the COI. Thank you so much. Thank you. As they leave the stage, I'm going to invite Daphne Johnson and Brian Roll to come and join me. Let's sit on the couch. Let's have a conversation real quick. And we're going to run into this. Yes. Can you give them a round of applause? So I'm trying to give them all the time they need because, listen, if you saw the first set, they was just going. I want to give them all the time they need to express themselves and show the Bahamian people who they are. Yeah. You know, Mr. Brian Roll is our candidate for Golden Eyes. We are so proud of you.
Yes, thank you to be here. Thank you.
And Miss Daphne Johnson is our candidate for Fourth Charlotte. And I'm not going to say it, but which one of you want to say it? You are the shadow ministers for?
Transport and energy.
Transport and?
Energy.
You saw the choir? It was just so synchronized. It was so amazing. I love that for us. I love that for us. Could you tell me a little bit about yourself? Just tell the Bahamian people a little bit about yourself.
Okay, as you know, my name is Daphne Johnson. I am the COI candidate for Fort Charlotte. Hi, Fort Charlotte. Any Fort Charlotte in the house? Wonderful. Mother of two, grandmother of two. Actually, they call me Mimi. I worked in the tourism industry for 30 years. 17 of those years, I worked in the transportation sector, where I presently still works at. Also an event designer. Only do it every now and again, but I'm here. I love to travel. I love to cook. Not married, divorced. But I'm here for change and to bring change to my country.
I hope all the eligible bachelors heard that part she sticked in there. I hope you heard it, wink, wink. Mr. Brian Roll.
Yes. Again, my name is Brian Rule, the candidate for Golden Isles. Yes. Family man, the father of 5 princesses and 1 princess. I'm still in the technical field. I've been in the technical field for 30 plus years, and I have a couple of years in the electrical field,
How many years you said you were in the technical field?
30 plus years.
No, I'm not gonna ask your age. I'm not
Yes,
gonna ask you. 'Cause you look like, you know.
Yes, I know I look good.
We
Yeah.
age well. Listen, black don't crack, okay? Black don't crack. So Miss Johnson, could you tell me about transportation? I'm not. Oh, we have one more behind me. I can't see her. I wish there was an angle I could sit at to see her, but okay, Natasha, it is your time.
Good evening. Can you hear me? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Natasha Mitchell, and I am the representative for the North Luther constituency. I am a mother of 2, an entrepreneur, and I have spent about 4 years being a legal advocate in the court. Hi.
Okay, we're back. I don't know if we're having a bit of technical difficulties, but we're going to go back to Ms. Johnson. And you can tell me a little bit about transportation, what that entails. I don't know, so you're going to have to teach me as you teach the Bahamian people tonight. So you can go ahead. So you said you work in the business for how many years?
17 in transportation.
What, these young children on this platform talking about 17 years, 35 years, anyway, 17 years. And what did you do actually in that area?
Okay, so let me just go back. I've actually worked or been around the transportation industry all my life. My grandparents on my mother's side, they were transportation owners. They owned a transportation company. And I remember as young as the age of 12, my grandmother, she used to drive a taxi, and I would sneak in the car and go with her to work. And so I didn't know about 15 years later, I would be doing the Bahamas course and entering the business which she wanted me to do. So I'm actually carrying on her legacy in the transportation industry. So I've worked in all sectors of the transportation industry. I've worked as a private chauffeur. I've worked in the taxi, tour, and livery. So I've worked in all aspects of transportation. The only thing I haven't done was yet drive a bus. I don't know how to drive.
So what is your vision for transportation? Because you have the years upon years. What is your vision for transportation in our country under the COI banner as Shadow Minister of Transportation?
Okay, as Shadow Minister of Transportation, one of the things we want to do is implement a Uber-like app for taxi drivers to use. I think that's going to be good. The app is not going to be, it's not going to cause a conflict of interest, guys. Hold on, because I know how you guys go. So persons staying at the hotels will not be able to use that rideshare app. However, Bahamians, if you're at a mall or home or at the wash house or wherever you can, book a car for you. Yeah, so that's one of the things we want to see happen.
Like that.
Yeah.
I love that. Because, I mean, hey, sometimes I say we're so much behind, but under a COI government, I can tell you, we're going to be that trendsetter. They will be looking at us to follow us. So I love that idea. Anything else you would like to say as it pertains to transportation?
Yes. As it relates to transportation, there's a whole lot I can say. Well, you know, a lot of hotels, let me just say, do not provide a proper taxi stand for taxi drivers. Let's just start with the cruise sport. Okay, sometimes I work out there. You have drivers that come to work from about 8 p.m. at night, yes, Bahamians, 8 p.m. at night just to be first, second, third, fourth, or even 100 in line to get a tour out there, okay? So while they're there waiting, the parking lot that they've provided for taxi drivers, it's locked until 4 a.m. the next morning. So you have taxi drivers literally sleeping outside there, okay?
So how does this change under COI government?
We're gonna provide proper taxi stands for taxi drivers, and we're gonna actually, again, implement apps where taxi drivers don't have to wait and sleep out there to wait on a job. You understand? So no, we're not gonna do that in the COI.
Beautiful, beautiful. Mr. Roll?
Yes, and if I may add, when it comes to transportation, you know, it's land, air, and sea. Okay, definitely we want to connect our family islands. I don't know, guys, if remember 2 Sundays ago we had a gentleman on, a billionaire investor, who spoke about his ferry boats, his ferry ships to connect all of our islands. And it's amazing that, you know, there were different type ships that he presented the speed of 45 miles per hour. I mean, can you imagine? And one of his other boats had a speed of 155 miles per hour. Can you imagine, you know, in one day you could travel to any part of the Bahamas and come back home? I mean, I'm sure our family islanders would love that, and I'm sure that they would embrace that, you know. Also, too, the COI, our vision is to bridge some of our nearest islands. We want to bridge them, and
Is it possible, though?
yes, it is possible.
Okay.
Like Mr. Green said, once you can dream it and think it, it can happen. And another thing, you know, when it comes to air, what we want to do as a COI government, all the taxes that are paid, you know, airline taxes, departure taxes, we want to use those funds to actually maintain our airports. The same with our taxes that we pay, licensing fees, even a part of the insurance fees, even a part of our fuel that we pay, you know, inspection fees. We want to use those funds to maintain our roads. A lot of our roads are still deplorable. At some day and time, and definitely under a COI government, I would like to see the inner city roads like the ones that are out west.
Yes.
You know, because
Yes.
to me it seems like it's a different grade of tar.
Wow.
If you notice, the tar out west is a different shade of gray
It
than the
is.
ones in the inner city.
Yeah.
You know, and again, we matter, and I think our Bahamian people needs the best. We deserve the best, and we should demand the best,
Yes, absolutely.
okay? And it can be done, and it will be done under COI government.
Yeah, and I realize also that when you drive out west, it's almost like you're in a different country.
Yes.
Like it really, I mean, your car
Yes.
is thanking you because you're not
Yes.
falling in the, you know, the craters and stuff. It's honestly a different atmosphere. And what you're saying is under the COI government, we expect the entire Bahamas to look like that.
Yes, but again, you know, it involves us, the people, because we have to be responsible. And when I say that, I mean we have to make sure and keep these areas clean at all times. So there's a level of responsibility that is upon us as a people also.
I have a question. I don't know if you can answer it, but what about our airspace? Like, what is the vision for our airspace? Because we have a lot of planes coming in. Are we benefiting from our airspace right now?
No, we're not. And under COI government, we will make sure those funds, it will be applied to the better life and the betterment of our people. When the COI, when we do investments, whatever we invest in, of course, we are looking for a return. And those returns definitely will benefit the Bahamian people.
I'm so excited because I saw something on social media, and the TSA officers, they were telling somebody, an American, I think it was, or a foreigner, whoever, and they were telling them to remove their shoes, and the person replied, but your floor is so filthy. Under a COI government, we will not hear those things. We will not see those things. Our country will be clean, green, and pristine.
Yes.
Yes,
definitely.
yes. And so we welcome again Miss Natasha Mitchell. Welcome, Miss Natasha Mitchell. We're happy to have you.
Thank you. Hi, guys. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Awesome. I am so proud of my team that are on stage right now. They're really handling things there. And Mr. Rule, you're doing a wonderful job. Alluding to the fact that we are going to be using solar energy when it comes to the transportation, also on the bus sector, and we're using the solar turbine energy for the boating system that we're proposing to along with the bridging. We'll be using boats in certain areas, and we'll be using the solar turbine on that.
This is our candidate for North Eleuthera, am I correct? Yes.
The local constituency.
Yes, ma'am. And my question to you is, what is the feel like as it pertains to energy on the island of Eleuthera? How do you see a COI government pushing these things in the islands of the Bahamas, because you are well traveled, I understand, on the islands?
Yes, thank you. The COI government, I'm sorry, I'm hearing a feedback. But the COI government is going to do all of the things that were supposed to be put in place by our previous administration. When it comes to energy, I think we have been really left behind. The Eleuthera constituency has about 3 grids. Harbor Island has its own grid, and Spanish Well does its own power. FYI, for persons watching from the Spanish Well area or listening in, the Coalition of Independence is basically prepared to give you exactly what it is you were looking for many years, which is the self-governance of the funds that are made there. The majority stays there to assist with the maintenance of that area. And so happy that that will be happening under the city and island governance. Power is out a lot on the main island due to the grids, but as we, underneath the Coalition of Independence, change into the solar from the sun and the turbine from the water, we should see those problems quite minimized. Persons are losing products at home, and businesses are closing early due to those outages, and we should see that minimized as well.
Oh my! Can you? Am I on? Ms. Mitchell, we thank you so much, and we have one question. I have one question for you. You didn't get to introduce yourself. Could you, in 30 seconds, introduce yourself to the Bahamian people, introduce yourself to our radio land, social media land, our YouTube, everybody? Could you introduce who you are to the Bahamian people, Miss North Eleuthera? Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Natasha Mitchell. I am the candidate for the North Eleuthera constituency underneath the Coalition of Independence. At the moment, I am going to be the shadow minister, one of the shadow ministers, because evidently that is my team on stage, shadow minister for energy and transportation.
Much, and we are so grateful that you were able to hang out with us tonight. In 30 seconds, could you give us the closing remarks as it pertains to transportation and energy?
Well, first of all, I will say that under COI government, electricity will be free. Okay? Okay. Technology is so advanced now these days. Like my colleague mentioned, solar, there is hydro and hydrogen. And these things can work. At the end of the day, electricity is one of our hardest burdens on everyone. And like my colleague Sharmi Nadli said, our family islands, they pay double. Our family islanders pay double. And they are the ones who are really suffering the most. So under COI government, we will make sure that these things get done, and it can be done. You could even create fuel out of garbage waste. There's a country, I think it was China, they actually are begging other countries to send them their garbage, and they turn that garbage into fuel. There are a lot of solutions that we can put forth to alleviate the burdens on our Bahamian people. All it takes is the right leadership. And we have it right here.
I love that. 30 seconds, Ms. Johnson.
I would like to add to my colleague's statement about electricity being free for all Bahamians. Businesses and foreigners will pay electricity bills, not you, Bahamians, okay? So the COI is committed to making life so much easier for you, my fellow Bahamians.
There you have it. Our shadow ministers of energy and transportation, Mr. Brian Roll, I thank you. Ms. Daphne Johnson, I thank you. And Natasha Mitchell for tuning in, I thank you so much. Give them another rousing round of applause.
Thank you.
I hope you feel the vision. I hope you see if you can't see it, but I'm sure they're bringing the vision to plan, and they're going to speak it, and we're going to write it, and we're going to do it, and we're going to run with it, as the Word of God says. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So our last, and if you are still with us, our last. We're not saving the best for last because everyone is important. But this one, this issue, this person, we want to hear from this person because a lot is going on in this area in the Bahamas. And listen, I'm sure you people want to hear about what's going on in this area. I'm not going to say the area, but I'm sure you're going to know after I say it. This person has been in medicine, in the medical field for over 35 years. 35 years. We're not putting people who are attorneys into medicine. It doesn't make, I don't know if it makes sense to you, but she has been in this area for 35 years of her life. She has transitioned into being a hotelier, and she is in hospitality and all that wonderful stuff. She's an amazing person who has amazing ideas and have been pushing the vision for blank, 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 and you're going to hear about it in a minute as the video is being played, and we're going to welcome her after that, Mr. Producer.
You ask, who is Veronica McIver? Veronica McIver is a Bahamian woman who loves this country. I am patriotic. I believe in integrity. and I want the best for our country. I was able to attend university in Canada, where I got my first degree. Then I was blessed to have been able to attend a tertiary education university, where I obtained my DMD degree, which is Doctor of Dental Medicine. And so I was happy to have attained that. And then I returned home to my beautiful country, where I was able to serve the people of the Bahamas. And I must add that I was honored to actually be the first Bahamian woman to actually practice dentistry on this island. I have 2 beautiful children, Rashad and April, and I have 3 wonderful grandchildren, Jace, Alaya, and Axel. So they are my pride and joy, and I love them to death. I'm going to ask you, why not the COI? Listen, in the last 40, 50, 60 years of our country, there has been no accountability, very little transparency in our country, and, quite frankly, too much backroom deals. It has to stop, okay? And so COI is the alternative, and I want something new. The 2 major parties they're basically 2 sides of the same coin, actually. And they've been promising to the Bahamian people over many years, but they've actually been under-delivering. And so I think that it's time for change. In 1967, we had a quiet revolution when we got majority rule. I think this dispensation, we're now ripe for another quiet revolution when an alternative party, other than the other 2 parties, take over this country and give proper service to this country. You ask why the Ministry of Health? Well, first of all, I believe that the Ministry of Health, like the Ministry of Education, is probably 2 of the most important ministries in this country today. You've heard the old adage that the health of a nation is the wealth of a nation. That is very true. Yet for too long, our country has really been operating in the public health care division. It's almost like crisis management. That is not right. We need to have more efficiency. We need to have more safety in the hospital, and just more compassion in the hospital. I've heard so many complaints. We have heard so many complaints about patients going in the hospital and not having the level of care. It's almost like substandard care that we have in the public health system. That needs to be improved. The COI's vision for health is going to be very, very different from what it has been so far. First of all, we're going to build a general hospital. Let me repeat that word, general hospital. The present government is planning to build a specialty hospital. I want the Bahamian people to understand the difference between a specialty hospital and a general hospital. The one that they're getting ready to build is really for maternity. It's for women and child adolescent health. That means men, you will not be treated there generally. And so therefore we need a general hospital that we deal with heart attacks, we deal with cancer, we deal with diabetes, we deal with dialysis, orthopedic needs. This is where you need the help. In the population, there's a lot of people who are sick. That is what we need, a general hospital, so that is what we will do. And I just want to say that because we live in a technological age, this hospital is going to be what I call a smart hospital. You know, all of us are walking around right now with a smartphone, right? So why can't we have a smart hospital? Everything will be digitized. I am Dr. Veronica McIver, and I am proud to be running in the constituency of Killarney.
Yes. Yes.
evening. Good evening. It's a pleasure to be here. Go ahead.
I'm just waiting. Okay, yes, yes. All that time I was like, yes, yes, it was yes. Welcome our deputy leader, Veronica McIver. Yes, our minister, our shadow minister of health.
Yeah.
Now, I was waiting on this conversation all night. I love education, I love energy and transport, but this, tell us about what your vision is under COI government for health, our health system.
Let me start by saying again that health is probably the most important ministry, because if I can't keep you alive, all these other ministries we're talking about this week is null and void. So health is the most important. So I believe the Shadow Minister of Finance is in the house tonight. Sir, when I'm sitting in cabinet with you and I tell you what I need, just get ready, okay? Because my budget has to be fulfilled first, because health is a right. It is not a privilege.
I love that statement. Health is a right
Not
a privilege. You know, we have the situation, and we know, everyone knows. I think it's an international thing now at PMH, what is going on with our nurses, the fatigue, the lack of care, all of that kind of stuff, and you've been following and fighting. I want to hear a little bit about that. Could you tell me?
Yes. Well, first of all, you notice I mentioned on the tape that we've been practicing under crisis management. Everybody knows that all of the complaints are coming out. No beds, they're running out of medicine, all sorts of things. Nurses, especially, nurses are getting drained and tired. They're working under duress. And when you have nurses and doctors working under those situations, they can't give their all. You understand? And so one of the things we are going to do for nurses, we are going to give them an incentive. So if they stay with us for 3 years, they will get a $10,000 bonus. Isn't that great? Yes. So we need to incentivize not only the teachers, we need to incentivize our doctors and our nurses. And so yes, their salaries will be increased, because we cannot afford to have them leaving the country, and then this government is bringing in foreign nurses, which is, they have to find housing for them and everything. Why spend all of that money when you could put that money into training young Bahamian women and men to do nursing? You understand?
Yes. And you said something that nurses have been operating under duress. Is that what you said?
Right, because of, yes.
Yeah. I was thinking, you know, COVID was a worldwide thing. It was an international thing. And nurses and doctors, they were just going. I feel that it never stopped. 6 years after, I feel that they're still under the duress that they were in 2020. And I feel that our government has failed again, not just education, transport, and energy, but health.
Listen,
go ahead.
Speaking about failing, I'm going to take this opportunity tonight to tell Dr. Darville, I love you as a person, but because of the failure of that hospital, and I've never seen it this bad in 30 years, I am going to ask you to resign, sir, tonight.
There you have it.
Yes.
There you.
Yes.
I love this.
Yes.
I love
Yes.
this. Yes.
He needs to resign. And it's just too much stuff is happening. Let me tell you something. I've had friends, let's talk about all the stuff that's going on.
Go ahead, you have the floor.
I've had friends to call me. A lady had a lump in her breast about a year ago. And I said, well, you need to go and get a mammogram. She didn't have the money to go privately. So I said, well, go to the hospital. Go public. She called me back and said, the mammogram machine is down. And I said, what? And she said, no, they don't have anything. She said, it's been down for about 9 months. Now, I don't know if it's up today, but I know back then it was down for 9 months. Bahamian people, let me talk to you. Cancer of the breast is very prevalent in the Bahamas. We have one of the highest rates in the entire world. How could you have a hospital, a public hospital, and not have a mammogram machine? Come on, man. Something is wrong with that equation. Something is wrong. Don't you think so? It's awful. So, something has to be done.
Yes. We don't have a mammogram machine. We don't have beds. So I'm just saying we don't have beds to host the people, the patients. We don't have medication to give the patients. So
Yes.
what is happening? What is this
So,
conundrum?
okay, so let me give a little snippet of our vision. We are going to build a health city.
Could I ask you a question?
Okay.
How long would it take? Would it take the whole 5 years, or can this be done in?
No, I would have to meet with my consultants. I am guessing in my mind, maybe by the third year, we will start it immediately. Let me tell you what I plan to do. I'm going to put a team together. I'm going to invite Bahamian physicians who are head of their departments all over the world, because they would have the expertise and everything. And I am going to ask them to first be on my team, consult with me, and if God have it so, I will have them come home and head up that department for me.
I
Now,
hope God has it so.
yes, now that will
Yes.
mean perhaps having to pay more salary, but I need the standard of care to be increased in the Bahamas. And what I plan to do is, in this health city, we're going to have the general hospital. Remember, I said on the tape,
Yes.
not a specialty hospital,
Right.
because you're not really treating the sick people, the people with heart attacks and cancer.
Yeah.
And then we're going to have a naturopathic and holistic center. We don't have time to get into all of that, but that will be dealing with part of our culture. Our culture is bush medicine. Everybody
Yes,
knows about bush
yes,
medicine.
Yes.
And there's a lot of research that still has to go into bush medicine.
Yes.
However, it will be done in conjunction with traditional medicine, which is the general hospital next door. Then we have a wellness center where we're going to have exercise equipment, and we're going to have nutritionists. They're going to be speaking to our Bahamian people. Most of you know we like macaroni and cheese, peas and rice on Sunday. So all of us are a little bit, little brick house. I call it
Yes.
brick house.
Yes.
The man like the brick house. And so therefore, we're going to have to tone that down and give them advice on what to eat and how to eat. Because I want my people healthy. Prevention is going to be my number one key priority.
Because definitely prevention is better than
Cure.
yes. I don't know, Mr. Time, if you can add a little 5 minutes onto that. I'm not going to look in that area, but if you can add some time onto that, because we need a little bit more information. I'm sure the people out there
Right.
want to know
Yes.
more about what is happening in health.
And another thing too is that everybody know about Sanderlands, right? Sanderlands will be moved to the health city.
Can we change the name?
The name, I was about to get to that.
Thank
The
you.
name will be changed because in our culture, when you say Sanderlands, the first thing people think about is, you're crazy. But listen, we have a lot of mental health issues in this country today. And we don't want it to be stigmatized, so we're going to have to move Sanderlands to the health city, and it will give it another name, because we have a lot of people who are committing suicides, people who are anxiety, people who are bipolar. There's a lot of mental issues that we have to deal with. And so, I really look forward to helping the Bahamian people. And I don't know how much time I have. Are we
I
running?
asked for an extra couple of
Okay, okay, this is the last thing I want to say then. I will be different from every other shadow minister of health.
Well,
You know why? Because I will be visiting the wards every single day that God gives me breath and I'm in this Bahamas. When I go on those wards, the Bahamian people will be able to touch me and feel me. And that is what I think we are lacking. We are lacking a lot of compassion at the hospital. There are too many, stories about neglect. So people will have access to me. In addition to my team, they will have access to the minister herself. And so I think that will make a wonderful difference. And I will be different from all the other ministers of health. Thank you.
this is exactly what we're talking about. The passion, the drive, for the Bahamian people. And I'm gonna say Minister MacGyver because she's already the Minister of Health. Okay, she's already the Minister of Health for the COI government. When you spoke about, I can't say it like you. When you spoke about Sandilands, when you spoke about, we definitely need to change the name. But on a serious note, there is a lot of health issues that we have taboo in this country. Depression, taboo. Mental health, when you think about suicide ideation, taboo. All of those things, and we see people who are falling between the cracks because we don't have the place, or we don't have the, we should have actually mental health in every constituency, some form of assistance for people who are dealing with that in every constituency. I can go to my, what you call those, the centers in your constituency, and you should have a nurse or someone who is available to talk to you, a counselor, something. So this goes way, listen, health is wealth. And what you're speaking is so amazing. Continue.
And I don't know how much more time I have left, but the people, keep talking. Okay, the people on the family islands, let me tell you all something. Oh yeah, don't think I'm gonna forget you all. Let me tell you all something. I've spoken to so many people on the family islands who are crying. They have to jump on that plane. Let me give you an example. One lady just needed her tooth to be removed. And do you know, she had to buy her ticket. She had to pay for her Airbnb. Then she had to pay $150 to take the tooth out. Do you know how much money that is? That was almost $1,000 to take out one tooth. That is not right for my Bahamian people. It cannot be so. Do you know this government shut down the dental department in the hospital? Do you all believe that? They shut it down. That is ridiculous. So that will have to be revived because it is, you know, when you have a toothache, you know that's not a good thing. No. And to have people suffering on the island, there are one or two private dentists, but the public health needs to provide this type of service as well. Yes. And so definitely that will be forthcoming. And, you know, many hospitals will be available on some of the family islands. It wouldn't be on all, but I can tell you that it's going to work well because according to transport, if we are going to have special boats with different hubs, you can go from Long Island to Mayaguana. You don't have to go from Long Island to Nassau and then Mayaguana. So we're going to have transportation from island to island, like you're hopping. That would be much better. So let's say if I put the mini hospital in Eleuthera, perhaps a neighboring island can just take a 15, 20-minute, 30-minute boat ride. It'll be special hydrofoil that lifts off the water and can get you there in no time.
So they won't have to come into the capital for...
No.
Wow.
If it's a mini hospital, they will be able to perform basic stuff. Let me give you an example, what I call basic. If you get into a car accident on the family island and you have a broken arm, an orthopedic surgeon should be there to fix your arm. I don't think you have to fly in on an ambulance or air ambulance to have it fixed. It's just too cost prohibitive for these people on the island. We have to look out for them. And so I will be making a lot of changes. I just need to get in that chair. So Killarney constituency, if you're listening, there will be a 4-way race. And I know who's coming out ahead of that
race. Yes. Listen.
Yes. So I can go on for another hour, but I realize the time. I'm a time person, and I know our leader wants to get back on to speak. And so I will allow the platform for him to come back. But
so what can you say to us in 30 seconds, Ministry of Health?
Again, I just want to say that I'm going to be the best Minister of Health available, and you will have access to me at all times. And I think people want that compassionate feel. They don't want somebody who's cold, and that's why many persons have called me about Dr. Darville. He's not returning their calls. He's not answering them, and that's why I've called for his resignation tonight.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay.
There you have it, our Minister of Health under the COI government, Mrs. Veronica MacGyver. Give her another round of applause. Listen, I got so excited listening to that. And I think it added to our island states that it's going to happen under the COI government, where you don't have to fly into the capital. Grand Bahama is going to be its own city. Abaco is going to be its own city. You don't have to infiltrate NASA. You don't have to you don't have to do all of that anymore. You don't have to fly and spend all that money anymore. If you can see it, people. I can see it. I can see it. I can see it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. My name is Aisha Claire, and I was your host for the night, but now I'm going to bring on our leader, and I'm going to invite all of our shadow ministers to join us on the stage as we close out, and he gives his final remarks. Thank you so much, Bahamas.
Good night, Bahamas. What do you think? The future look bright. I think I can need some shades, some dark shades, because this is really, really bright. Ladies and gentlemen, I know that the time was short for some of them. They couldn't go through all of the plan, but again, our plans are on our website. Go to Vision 2030. You can see our transportation plan, our electricity plan, our plan for energy, sorry. You can see our health plan. You can see our education plan. These are real plans, not bullet points, like manifestos that they do with just goals. These are the plans that's going to transform this nation. We're the first party to present a plan to this nation. Ladies and gentlemen, what we presented to you tonight was a Minister of Health. Are you all impressed with this Minister of Health? She's not just experienced in the health field. She is a developer, and she's a hotelier. So she's going to build our hospital. And she can sit in front of those contractors and tell them, no, 2 screws missing from this proposal and 6 nails missing. And trust me, she'll do it. And so she's very qualified. So when you put her up against the failed Michael Darville, there's no comparison. Michael Darville has failed miserably. So does the COI has the people? I think we do. And so I'll also take you to our shadow ministers of education. These are very experienced educators who've been doing this for a long time. They didn't say enough about Charmaine's, Adelie's CV, but her CV is so long it would blow your mind. She is a very qualified educator. Very qualified. She did computer science like me, but when the school's computers broke down, they would depend on her to fix it. And she didn't get paid for that. But she would get them straight. That's how talented she is. And also our Shadow Minister of Education, Mr. Trevor Green. Very powerful, educated educator. If he can educate the educators in Florida, I'm sure he can transform education in the Bahamas. This is the level and caliber of people that we are bringing forward. So while I like Glennis Anna Martin, I have no problem with her personally. You know, that's Veronica's cousin. That's my cousin too, because I'm Hannah Hasty Tynes too, from Auckland. Glennis Anna Martin, education isn't your thing. You have failed for the last 4.5 years, and we are still at the average, and our schools have gotten no better. I'm saying this to you not to criticize you, but you are my employee. You work for me and the rest of us, and you have failed. We need a new people with a new vision to take this country forward. And so go and look at our education plan. It's 86 pages long. 86 pages, that's a real plan. It's telling you what we're going to do, how we're going to do it, when it's going to happen, and where the money coming from. Yes. It's a real plan. And so I'm proud of that. So when you compare these educated persons with master's degrees, etc., in this field, Glennis Anna Martin is a good woman, but she isn't it. All right? Not for education. She was transport before, and she also didn't fit there. We need qualified persons running this country. And lastly, we presented to you 3 shadow ministers, because this is a very important area. We told you persons would be sharing areas. We presented to you Ms. Daphne Johnson, who has years and years of experience and ownership in the transportation industry. She knows that industry, and the industry knows her. And many times you would have seen the COI go out and fight for the taxi drivers. It would always be her calling me. Say, Lincoln, go help my people. And she would summons me, and I would come running to help them. And that's because we really care about them. So you know what a people is going to do after by what they did before. And so if the taxi drivers know what's good for them, they're going to vote for us. Because we ain't just talking this. We've been doing this. Not one taxi driver should vote PLP or F&M, because both of them made them suffer. And we also presented to you Ms. Natasha Mitchell. They didn't get to say much about her, but she is a serial entrepreneur, very well-known and well-respected entrepreneur on the island of Eleuthera. And she's a very qualified young lady and ready to contribute to these areas. We also presented to you, some of you already know him, Mr. Brian Roll. Let me make it clear to you. What's her name? Jobette Colby Davis knows nothing about energy and transport. Nothing. Okay? The people we have presented to you knows energy and transport. This man has been dealing with those lampposts. He is a technical expert, and he is someone that we trust to go and take and get rid of those lampposts. They couldn't talk about all of our plans, but our power is going underground. In a hurricane belt. Why are they putting up more lampposts? Why are they doing that? Yeah, they're getting money from it. Why are they killing all those trees? Let's just go underground, and that's what we're going to do. And we are going to transform this nation in terms of power. There's so much more that could have been said tonight, but we're going to have specialty lives that focuses on each one of these areas. So going into election, we're not going in there to talk scandal. We're going in there to talk about the vision for the new Bahamas. So between last night and tonight, we have presented to you candidates, shadow ministers, that are far more qualified than the persons already in those ministries. More qualified than the persons the F&M had in those ministries. And so we're ready to make the change. And so tomorrow, you're going to get several more ministries, including tourism, including culture, including sports, and more. What's tomorrow? Tuesday? Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm living good. That's the wrong day. That's the wrong day. I'm telling you Wednesday. Tuesday, just tune in. We'll get your Tuesday schedule. Just be here, and you're going to see the transformation. I know agriculture is going to be tomorrow for sure. But ladies and gentlemen, agriculture and maybe works. All right? But ladies and gentlemen, tune in. Let's have real conversations. Don't let them distract you with all the nonsense. Let's not let them distract you. They want you talking about other things and not about the way to move this country forward, because they don't want to move it forward. But ladies and gentlemen, my mentor, Dr. Myles Munroe, said that a new generation is rising up. And they're going to be the ones to take us into the next Bahamas, into the new Bahamas. The old weapons ain't going to work no more. It's time for something different. It's time for something new. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all for joining us. Thank you for tuning in. Tomorrow, 8 o'clock, at the same time, at the same place. You can join us in studio, or you can watch us online, like the tens of thousands of you are all over our platforms watching us online. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the COI Shadow Ministers Release, Day 2. See you next time. Change ain't coming!